Imagine walking into a room. You feel the weight of the air change. You see the glances, the quick shifts in posture, the way conversations slightly pivot as you pass. For years, you've interpreted this as a sign that you don't fit in. You've felt like an outsider, a ghost in a world of loud voices. You've sat in your car after a social gathering, replaying every word you said, wondering if you were too quiet, too intense, or just plain invisible. You've lived with the nagging suspicion that people are judging you. But what if I told you that your discomfort was a lie? What if the reason you feel a distance between yourself and others isn't because you are lacking, but because you are overwhelming? What if the very things you thought were your flaws are actually the marks of a person who commands an unspoken, silent authority? Listen to me carefully. Respect is rarely loud. In fact, the deepest forms of respect are almost always quiet. People don't always tell you they admire you. In fact, they might even act cold. They might keep their distance. But the signs are there, hidden in the subtext of every interaction. You've been looking for validation in the wrong places. You've been looking for applause when you should have been looking for the silence. The first sign is the space they give you. Have you ever noticed that in a crowded room, people naturally give you a wider berth? You might think they're avoiding you. You might feel lonely in that pocket of air. But here's the truth. People don't give space to the weak. They give space to the powerful. They are subconsciously acknowledging your territory. They are respecting your perimeter. When someone respects you, they are careful not to intrude on your energy. They wait for an invitation. If the world feels like it's stepping back to let you through, it's not because you're a monster. It's because you're a king who hasn't realized he's wearing a crown yet. Watch the way they listen, not just with their ears, but with their entire bodies. Imagine you are in a group. Everyone is talking over each other. It's chaos. But then, you speak. You don't shout. You don't fight for the floor. You just say what you have to say. And suddenly, the friction stops. Even the people who were mid-sentence find a way to wind down. They might not look at you directly. They might even look at the floor, but they are absorbing every syllable. This is the pause. If people stop their own momentum to accommodate yours, they respect your mind more than they will ever admit. They are waiting to see where you stand before they decide where to move. Read that again. They are waiting for you. Now, consider the mirror. Humans are programmed to imitate those they perceive as superior or influential. If you look around and notice people using your slang, adopting your posture, or even following your work habits, don't be annoyed. This isn't theft. It's a silent tribute. They are trying to capture a fragment of the frequency you operate on. They see your hidden superpowers, your discipline, your calmness, your mystery, and they want to see if it fits them too. Your life has become a blueprint for theirs. You aren't being copied. You are being studied. But respect also has a darker side, a side that often feels like rejection. Have you ever felt like people are testing you? They challenge your ideas. They push your boundaries. They bring up difficult topics just to see how you'll react. You might feel targeted. You might feel like they don't like you. But you must reframe this immediately. People don't test what they don't value. They are stress testing you. They are checking to see if your character is made of iron or glass. They want to know if you are the real deal. In their eyes, you are a high-value target. This isn't an attack. It's a certification process. Your struggle with these people is actually a training camp. They are sharpening you because they know you can handle the heat. Observe the eye contact. There is a specific kind of eye contact that signals deep, secret respect. It's not the aggressive stare of a predator. It's the quick break. They look at you, and then they look away. Not out of boredom, but out of a subtle, reflexive intimidation. Your presence is heavy. Looking you in the eye feels like looking at the sun. It's too much truth at once. If people seem slightly nervous or overly formal when they talk to you, they aren't judging you. They are trying to keep up with you. They are worried about making a mistake in front of someone they hold in high regard. Listen to me carefully. Your social awkwardness is often just their social intimidation. Then, there is the counsel. People who secretly respect you will often come to you with their problems, but in a very specific way. They won't ask for a favor. They will ask for your opinion. What would you do in this situation? They aren't looking for a handout. They are looking for a compass. They value your judgment because they've watched you navigate your own life. They see the way you handle pressure. They see the way you stay silent when others scream. They view you as an anchor in a storm. If people seek your perspective on the things that matter, you have already won. You have become the unofficial advisor to their souls. And what about your absence? Here is the truth. The greatest sign of respect isn't what happens when you're there. It's what happens when you're gone. When you leave a room, does the energy drop? Do people mention your name in conversations about reliability or strength? You may not hear it, but you can feel it. When you return, there is a subtle sigh of relief in the environment. You are the emotional thermostat. You set the temperature. If people seem more focused and more serious when you are present, it's because they don't want to disappoint the standard you represent. Think about the people who don't like you. The critics. The ones who whisper behind your back. Even this is a sign. They spend their time discussing you because they cannot ignore you. You occupy real estate in their minds for free. They are obsessed with your moves because they are terrified of your potential. This is the strategic advantage of the misunderstood. While they are busy watching you, you are busy growing. Their resentment is just respect that has curdled into envy. It's the same emotion, just with a different face. You've spent so long feeling like you were failing the social game. You thought you were the one who didn't understand the rules. But you weren't failing. You were playing a different game entirely. You were building a foundation of character that most people are too distracted to even dream of. Your quietness wasn't a void. It was a reservoir. Your intensity wasn't a flaw. It was a beacon. Everything you thought was a burden, your high standards, your need for solitude, your refusal to play small. These are the very things that have forced the world to acknowledge you. You have been in a training camp of the spirit, and you have emerged as something formidable. Stop looking for the nod of approval. Stop waiting for the verbal confirmation. The world has already given you its answer in the silence, in the space, and in the way it watches you when it thinks you aren't looking. You are no longer a spectator in your own life. You are the master strategist. You see the board. You see the moves. You understand the weight of your own shadow. Walk into your next interaction not as someone seeking to be liked, but as someone who is already respected. Carry that weight with grace. Hold that space with honor. The throne was always yours. You just had to stop asking for permission to sit on it. Read that again. And then, go out and lead.